Marcus Thompson had come to the remote Montana cabin to escape the world, not to find it waiting for him in his kitchen pantry. The discovery happened on his third day of what was supposed to be a month-long writing retreat. He'd reached for coffee beans, and instead found himself staring at luminescent silver eyes set in a face that was almost, but not quite, human. She was tall, perhaps 6 feet, with skin that held an ethereal blue-white pallor and hair like spun moonlight. When their eyes met, she didn't scream or run. Instead, she spoke in perfect, unaccented English. "You're earlier than calculated." "Calculated?" Marcus stepped back, his heart hammering against his ribs. "Who are you? What are you doing in my cabin?" The woman emerged from the pantry with fluid grace, her movements too precise, too controlled for human anatomy. She wore what appeared to be a form-fitting bodysuit that seemed to absorb and reflect light simultaneously. "My name is Zara 7. I am what your species would classify as extraterrestrial, and this isn't your cabin." Marcus blinked. "I've been coming here for 15 years. My grandfather built this place." "Your grandfather," Zara 7 said, tilting her head at an angle that made Marcus's neck ache in sympathy, "was not who you think he was." She moved to the fireplace, running her elongated fingers along the rough-hewn mantel. Where she touched, faint symbols began to glow, symbols that had always been there, Marcus realized, disguised as natural grain patterns in the wood. James Thompson, or as we knew him, Research Coordinator James of the Terran Integration Project, was one of our most valuable assets, Zara 7 continued. For 47 years he observed and reported on human behavior from this outpost. The revelation hit Marcus like a physical blow. Images flashed through his mind. His grandfather's uncanny ability to predict weather patterns, his extensive collection of books on astronomy and physics, the way he'd always seemed to know things before they happened. "That's impossible," Marcus whispered, but even as he said it, pieces were clicking into place. His grandfather's detailed journals that Marcus had never been able to decipher. The strange visitors who came at odd hours. The basement room that had always been locked. Zara 7 approached him, her silver eyes reflecting depths of intelligence that made him feel like a child. "Your species possesses something we've never encountered before, Marcus Thompson. Something we've spent centuries trying to understand." "What's that?" "Hope." She gestured toward the window, where the Montana wilderness stretched endlessly under a canopy of stars. "We are the collective, beings from 17 different worlds, united by logic, efficiency, and scientific advancement. We've conquered death, transcended physical limitations, achieved technological perfection. But we've never encountered a species that could maintain hope in the face of absolute impossibility." Marcus frowned. "You're telling me that advanced aliens are studying humans because we're optimistic?" "Not optimistic," Zara 7 corrected. "Humanity possesses something far more profound. You create hope where none should exist. You find solutions where our calculations show only failure. You adapt and overcome circumstances that would cause any logical species to surrender." She touched a section of the wall, and it shimmered, revealing a complex array of monitoring equipment. Screens flickered to life, showing data streams that Marcus couldn't begin to comprehend. 300 years ago, we predicted your species would destroy itself within 50 years. War, climate change, resource depletion. All variables pointed to extinction. But you didn't extinct. You adapted. You innovated. You hoped. Marcus stared at the screens, watching what appeared to be real-time feeds from around the globe. Cities bustling with life, children playing, scientists working in laboratories, artists creating beauty from nothing. 200 years ago, we recalculated. Surely now, with nuclear weapons and global conflicts, humanity would end. But you survived that too. 100 years ago, We were certain that environmental collapse would finish what war couldn't. Yet here you are, developing new technologies, finding new ways to thrive. So you've been watching us like lab rats, Marcus said, anger creeping into his voice. Initially, yes, Zara 7 admitted. But something changed 40 years ago. The observers started sending different reports. They weren't just documenting human behavior, they were being influenced by it. Your grandfather was the first to request extended assignment. Others followed. We lost 12 research coordinators to what our scientists termed emotional contamination. They became human. They became something we'd never seen before. Beings who could process logic and maintain hope simultaneously. It shouldn't be possible, yet it happened repeatedly. Marcus looked around the cabin with new eyes. How many conversations had his grandfather had in this very room with beings from other worlds? How many reports had he filed trying to explain the inexplicable nature of human resilience? "Why are you telling me this?" Marcus asked. Zara 7's expression, if it could be called that, seemed almost sad. Because the collective has made a decision. We're going to reveal ourselves to humanity within the next solar cycle, not as conquerors or saviors, but as students. Students? We've achieved technological perfection, but we've lost something essential in the process. We've forgotten how to hope, how to dream, how to create beauty for its own sake. We want to learn these things from humans. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. And if we say no? That's just it, Zara 7 said, something resembling a smile touching her features. We can't force hope. It has to be freely given. That's another thing we've learned from studying your species. Hope shared unwillingly isn't hope at all. She moved toward the door, then paused. Your grandfather left detailed files about you, Marcus Thompson. He believed you inherited the strongest expression of human hope he'd ever documented. The ability to write stories that inspire others to believe in better futures, even when current circumstances suggest otherwise. You want me to what? Write propaganda for your species? We want you to do what you do best, Zara 7 said. Tell stories. Help both our species understand each other. Bridge the gap between logic and hope. As she reached for the door handle, Marcus called out, "Wait! How do I know you're telling the truth?" Zara 7 turned back, her silver eyes reflecting the cabin's warm light. You don't. You have no logical reason to trust me, no evidence to support my claims, no guarantee that cooperation won't lead to disaster. But you're human, Marcus Thompson. Despite all of that, you're already hoping this could lead to something wonderful. She was right, and they both knew it. Even as his rational mind screamed warnings, another part of him was already imagining the possibilities. Stories of cooperation between species, adventures among the stars, hope shared across the galaxy. After she left, Marcus sat in his grandfather's chair, staring at the symbols still glowing faintly on the mantle. He had a choice to make, and no logical framework to guide him. But he had something better than logic. He had hope. And maybe, just maybe that would be enough.